Did something amazing, just truly amazing, ever happen to you? Well, for me, that was tea. And I'm so excited to tell you today about 4 different ways that tea has radically changed my life. So let me ask you something. What would it look like if you made a 1% change in your life every single day? Did you know that at the end of the year, you would be 37 times better in whichever area you chose to work on? That is incredible. However, in order to get to that level, you need to be extremely healthy. You need to have love, health, happiness, good relationships with family, fiscal responsibility, which, funny enough, are the core values of Nautical Teas. But in this health, I found that tea has such an extreme amount of value added. So, number 1, variety. I grew up in the middle of Iowa, and tea was just one of those like little byproducts put in bags. No one ever gets it. You're either getting coffee or you're getting coffee. That's just the way it was. What really changed for me is when I went to the United States Naval Academy and I majored in Chinese. USNA sent me to China on 2 different occasions, and it was during these 2 different occasions, particularly the second one when I spent an entire semester abroad giving up English, swearing. However, it was during that I found that the variety, point number 1, the variety in tea is amazing. You have black, green, white, oolong, yellow, and guess what? They all come from the same plant, Camellia sinensis. Now you have Camellia sinensis var sinensis, which is like the smaller leaves, Camellia sinensis var assamica, which is like the bigger leaf, and as you can tell from assamica, it comes from like Assam, India. That's where it gets its name. Or big leaves, a little bit more caffeine in those usually as well. However, just from one plant, and you regulate oxidation levels, and you can have a variety of different teas. The second way that tea has radically changed my life, and it can change your life too. This is why I'm so passionate about tea, because I know it can change your life. But the second way is because of the health benefits associated with tea. So when I was in China, tea was a very, very regular drink that you would give to people. People would come up to you and like, hey, you should drink this. This is 这个对你的身体非常好. They would say like, this is to your health really good, like literal translation. And they're like, hey, you're cold? Okay, have hot tea. Oh, you're hot? Have hot tea. You're sick? Have hot tea. It was almost comical. However, once I started to dive into the health benefits associated with it, from scientifically backed studies, double-blind surveys, I was amazed. So tea has over 30,000 different types of polyphenols in them. Imagine a tree. So polyphenols was at the top. From there, you have a bunch of flavonoids under them, which is the most beneficial part of the tea. And of these flavonoids is some called flavonols. And from the flavonols, you have some called ECGC. And this is a primary catechin in tea, in green tea. When it oxidizes to black tea, those catechins, they turn into theaflavins and theorubicins. However, those are the key to so many of the benefits of tea in regards to health. And they are completely touting how this beverage can change your life and will if it's practiced regularly. What these are, these catechins, theaflavins, theorubicins, they're antioxidants. The reason that antioxidants are so beneficial for your body is because it brings your body back into a normal state. The best way to say this is, think about your crazy Aunt Shirley. And this lady, she is psycho. And if your name is Shirley, I'm talking about the other Aunt Shirley, not you. You're good. So, this crazy Aunt Shirley, the only way that she can bring peace to herself is by going out into the world, creating a ruckus, and throwing other people into complete disarray. And that is what is oxidative stress. So you have these oxidizing factors inside of your body, and what happens is the only way that can be removed is to see antioxidants in them. So antioxidants, oxidizers, to get rid of that in the body. Another way to think about it is as rust. So if your body's going under oxidation, your body is going under, let's call it rust. And antioxidants, what they do is they take the rust away. Right now, tens of millions of people are dying from something called non-communicable diseases. And what this simply means is that it can't transfer from one person to another. Stuff like heart disease, stroke, Alzheimer's. And tea has shown through the power of antioxidants and catechins to be able to lower the chances of getting heart disease, of getting stroke, helping to reduce the chances of getting Alzheimer's. And the reason for this is because a lot of times heart disease, a lot of times stroke, it comes about through a thing called oxidative stress. So when your body sends antioxidants to fight something, those antioxidants are used up. So you need to get those antioxidants from somewhere. If they're not used up, then you essentially have an enemy on your battlefield that's just living there. However, if you replenish your body with the tea, with the antioxidants, you're sending extra forces, extra reinforcements to battle it. And a lot of times what happens, so let's say somebody smokes. That irritation causes inflammation in the lungs. And what tea does is that inflammation, it shouldn't be there. The catechins, or theaflavins, the the big thing is the antioxidants. They go to reduce that. They go to reduce inflammation. And times when you have this prolonged inflammation, problems spread. That is how it can go to your heart. So the third way that tea has radically changed my life is in energy. So the caffeine content in tea is normally between 20 and 90 milligrams, whereas one of drip coffee could be about 100 milligrams. So if you were to go with a conservative, say 60 milligrams of caffeine, then you would have to have 5 cups at once in order for it to begin to have that diuretic effect. So a massive benefit of tea versus coffee is that tea doesn't cause you to have the jitters from caffeine. So coffee, the way caffeine works, is it immediately hits your system. However, with tea has a component in it called L-theanine. And this component, what it does is it binds with the caffeine and it causes it to have a slow release. And also works on your head to have a really calming state of mind. So it's when you have this, it's called like alpha state. Alpha waves going on your brain, relaxation. Other people call it like mindfully alert. You're chilled out, you know what's going on, but you're alert. The fourth way that tea has radically changed my life is in relationships. And this may seem strange to put in an article about tea. However, during my time at the academy, I found that whenever I would brew a cup of tea, people would come. They would come, they would sit, sometimes they would talk for hours. And I was amazed. I found that it didn't have anything to do with where they were from in the world, what their race was, what their upbringing was. Regardless, if you gave someone a cup of tea, it would calm them down, they would sit down, they would chill, they would talk. And during this time, because people are more relaxed, they'd be more open. And you could really have a lot deeper conversations. And in my transition into the Navy, because I was a surface warfare officer for 5 years, and on 2 different ships, I was first on the Iwo Jima, then the Paul Ignatius. During that time, I found the same exact thing. If I made a cup of tea, people would sit, people would chill, and they would enjoy themselves. And this is a part of what has inspired Nautical Teas in the cafe setting that we're going into, to inspire people to truly have good relationships. This is the family part of our core values, to be a family together. It's also happiness, because when you're in community with other people, you tend to be happier, be more fulfilled. So when you start showing love, tea is such an inexpensive drink. It helps you to be fiscally responsible. So in these 4 ways, tea has radically revolutionized my life. The variety, the health benefits, added energy, extra relationships. It has been absolutely amazing. And that is why I invite you to join this tea journey with me. Over in our tea chest, we have subscriptions so you can get great deals every single month right to your doorstep. It is like Christmas every single month. Delicious teas that are great for your health. It's amazing. And if that's like, hey, I can't do, 20 or 30 bucks a month, that's fine. We have regular teas in our tea shop that are phenomenal. Cup by cup, it's extremely inexpensive in comparison to going out to a coffee shop and getting one of those sugar-filled drinks. So join me on this journey towards love, health, and happiness. I'm Josh from Nautical Teas, wishing you to have a great and happy day.